Okay, this is Pubnub. Pubnub is a real-time network. We're globally distributed in 11 data centers, I think actually 12 now. And what you're looking at over there is a real-time representation of about 1% of our traffic. We're a publish-subscribe messaging system. We are used by tens of thousands of developers in actually scores of countries and thousands of applications for doing real-time applications. It really starts with leaving a socket open to a set of devices and then streaming data and doing other things with that socket. And that's what Pubnub does really, really well. So we talk about democratizing real-time. Pubnub is much bigger than WebRTC, but we have a lot of WebRTC companies coming to us now for a lot of the signaling that's required around WebRTC. And our mantra is we want to connect everything and everyone in the world in a quarter of a second. So what does Pubnub actually provide? We provide a set of services in the cloud that companies use to build these real-time applications, streaming kinds of applications. What are these services? Well, the first one is Pubnub Galaxy, which is a multicast service. You publish data into the cloud. You have any number of devices subscribe to that channel or that topic. And within a quarter of a second, that data is received on the other side. We have people using this for multiplayer games, for business collaboration apps, for call signaling, for a variety of other use cases. And then Pubnub Unicast, or we call Pubnub Pulse, which allows you to send a single message to individual devices for signaling, whether that's social or chat or other things. Now, on top of that, we provide other services that take advantage of that streaming connection, like Pubnub Presence. Presence allows you to tell exactly when someone connects and disconnects to a topic or a channel across millions and millions of users. Pubnub Real-Time Analytics we'll talk about, storage and playback of data streams, security, different kinds of push from mobile applications, and different kinds of ways of doing multiplexing. So these are all different core services that Pubnub provide. Now, just to get you started with something, Dan and I will give you a demo of something we actually showed on stage about 6 months ago here at WebRTC, a very, very simple example of making a phone ring. So I know since Alexander Bell, people have done this. In this case, Dan is going to, I'm going to reload here, Dan is going to call my number, 7251, on his screen there. And when he presses the call button, what will happen is a phone will start ringing. And there it goes. Well, there's no audio. It's really supposed to be ring. It's a great ring sound. It's amazing, I promise. However, what just happened there? That's a very, very simple demo. Dan published a Pubnub message, and my phone was listening on that Pubnub channel, and it made a phone ring. Now, beyond this being a demo, because we're globally scaled, we provide 5 nines SLAs. This was discovered by people in this space. And so companies like RevTel. Anyone hear of RevTel? It's the world's second largest voice over IP company by subscribers. RevTel uses Pubnub now globally for all the call signaling, call quality, and a variety of other signaling things that happen before the call, during the call, and after the call. So they're maintaining socket connections using Pubnub. A company here actually at WebRTC today called Ondello, they're out there, you should check them out, are also using using Pubnub, as well as a number of other customers as well. So, last year, we were here on stage, while we were actually in San Francisco, for those of you who attended. I'm glad to see this probably 4 times as many people as last year. Good job. And we won the Audience Choice Award and the Best in Show Award. We figured we weren't going to top that. I was going to ask Dan to do some ballet, some karaoke, but he's a really kind of a solid guy. He doesn't want to do that stuff. So basically, though, how did we do it? I think we did it primarily by being silly and funny. But more importantly, actually, we did it by promising WebRTC Data Channel on steroids. At the time, we called it WebRTC Data Channel with Lance Armstrong. That didn't go over too well. Let me let Dan talk about what this actually means. Go ahead.
So we want to talk about why you need the WebRTC data channel and why it's important right now. So video and audio are just the starting point of the WebRTC peer connection. You can also do things such as multiplayer games, group chat, you can do screen sharing, second screen applications, and these are all great, but they all have one thing in common, is that peer-to-peer connections are not the entire application itself. There's still a lot of extra services that you need to build on top of this.
So, sorry, go ahead.
And so this is what we mean by on steroids, is that you're not just going to make a peer-to-peer connection and that's where your application ends. You might need to do broadcast messaging. You might need to message out to multiple servers or multiple clients. And so we want to build on top of Pubnub and make sure that Pubnub is protocol independent. So we'll take care of using the best protocol that you need to make the connection to your users. And then on top of this, you'll also get additional features such as presence, broadcasting to millions of users. You'll get storage and playback, and real-time analytics.
So we've got exactly 4 minutes, and I'll show you, based on the promise we made 6 months ago at the last WebRTC conference about delivering that, we want to show you what we've actually delivered. And we've basically taken WebRTC, embedded it into the Pubnub JavaScript API that already exists. So now there's a seamless way to go back and forth.
And so it's very simple for our users today. So right now what they do is they take a message, and the message can be string, it can be JSON data or anything, and they publish that to a channel. So that takes that message and sends it up to the channel on our servers. Then anyone who's subscribing, and this can be 1,000 phones, it can be one desktop browser, it can be nearly anything, will in turn get that message. And so we've taken this paradigm that's being used right now by over 20,000 developers in thousands of different applications, and we've applied this to WebRTC. So as Todd will show you here, just one small change to the API, and now you can publish over WebRTC data channel directly to other users. And we take care of all the things under the hood.
So today with Pubnub, you might do Pubnub channel subscribe publish when you want to talk to all your devices or groups, and then simply user colon there in the code, which will automatically create and establish that WebRTC data channel and do peer-to-peer connectivity. In many cases, you're doing both. Now, we've only got a few minutes left here, so I'm going to show you a few demos. On stage last time, we actually showed you something called mouse speak, and this is now using the same API. But when I reload here, you're going to see in a second, automatically the Pubnub code is establishing the WebRTC data channel connection. And now as Dan moves his mouse around and I move mine and we chat, I can say, hey, this is Todd. Every single mouse movement, XY coordinate is now being streamed through a WebRTC data channel. One line of code. Literally just said Pubnub Pubnub.publish user and so on, and it basically established the connection and streamed it. But now imagine if you've built this as a two-player game. This is obviously very simplistic, and now you want to broadcast that out and make this multi-user. All of a sudden, now you might have hundreds of people. So if I flip over here, I'm using mouse speak now with a small difference in the code, and now everyone at Pubnub is sitting here chatting. Oh, there's even one of our employees is Chinese, speaking in Chinese, and we're saying, hey, we're live now. Now what we're doing is taking, just to make sure we all understand, that peer-to-peer connection that's streaming those XY coordinates, and now we're proxying it through Pubnub. And so rather than doing one-to-one, we've now got one to literally thousands. And in production today, we've done 1 to 800,000. We've done massive broadcast applications. We currently today have anywhere between 20 and 30,000 messages per second going through, peaking at close to 3 million a second. So we're doing this at big scale today. We're going to skip right over to file share. We took this API completely client-side, and we said to a brand new intern who's here, visiting Pubnub for a summer internship, we want you to build Napster. We want you to do file sharing. We want you to do file sharing completely on the client side using Dan's new WebRTC API. So I'm going to sign in with my Google account, and I'm going to choose my Pubnub thing here. And these are all the people on the right and on the left here who are using Pubnub file share from my Google account. And as you see, the ones with the green are using Pubnub Presence to detect who's currently online. So no server-side code. It's all on the client. Now, Dan just sent me a file, and I can see on the set it actually said, do I want to get it? I say, yes, I get it. And now it's streaming the file using WebRTC data channel across, and I'm going to open up this file and see what he sent me. And
my very favorite picture.
That's so sweet, man. Thank you. Dan's a soft guy. He looks like a big lumbering guy, but he's actually very sweet. So thank you for the ballerina. Basically, what we've done here, completely client-side, is used Pubnub in conjunction with a peer-to-peer WebRTC connection for a full file-sharing application, who your friends are online, completely without any server-side code. So that's the power of Pubnub married with WebRTC data channel. Thank you very much.